Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and yesterday Apple released iPadOS 26 RC. And in this video, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite features in iPadOS 26 RC. Now, usually when I do a favorite features video, I don't think I ever do one for the iPad, but this time is different as I have so many favorite features. Well, really one specifically. You can see I screenshotted it. It's the new windowing system on the iPad. iPadOS 26 brings an update to multitasking with the new windowing system. And you see it works pretty good here. We have these traffic light buttons that you found on macOS. Like I can make a window full screen here. I can make it half screen. Or I can close it with the minimize button, the yellow button. Or I can close it completely with the red button. That is a pretty nice feature in iPadOS 26. And we also even have Stage Manager. If I tap on windowing, you can see the shelf on the left-hand side disappears. But if I tap on Stage Manager, you can see there it reappears. Stage Manager is now available on a wide variety of iPads. And to show you the iPad I am using the 2020 iPad Air 4th generation. I've had this iPad for 3 years, just like I did with my iPhone 12. I've had both of these devices for a long while. And Stage Manager, aka the new windowing system, does perform exceptionally well on this device. It's pretty great resizing the windows. It is pretty nice. Although one thing I will say is I admit it's not optimized for some apps. Like, for example, CapCut. Or that was a different app I went into here. If I go into CapCut, you can see it is not at all optimized because it won't let me resize it much. Usually this app would sometimes flip my iPad in portrait mode, but it can't do that as I'm using the windowing system. So these apps do have to be updated, and I think they will by the time iPadOS 26 releases. And as far as when it will release, if we go into Safari here, and we go to iPadOS 26, iPadOS 26, just like iOS 26, is going to release on September 15th. And whilst I am running the beta, just like with my iPhone, I'm still going to make a What's New video when it comes out on that day, showing off the new windowing system and updated designs all across the update. And you can see here we also have the phone app, but I'm not going to go into it as I don't want to show any of my contacts here, as they have synced across from my iPhone 12 and also FaceTime on this iPad as well. But we also have the journal app. If I go into it here, you can see here I have a lot of journal entries, and a lot of these synced across from my iPhone. A lot of these did sync across here from my iPhone 12. Here was Davenport, Florida. It's just the only thing is you can't simply swipe down to get out of a journal entry. You have to press the X button. And for whatever reason, that button isn't there. So, okay, there we go. Sometimes a little bit of touch responsiveness issues with the journal, but it is really nice. You can see I have quite a few journal entries here. A lot of these synced across from my iPhone. If I just close it here, And we also have an Apple Music radio widget. Although the radio station I listen to, which is for my location, is not popping up for whatever reason. So hopefully Apple updates that in the future. Now, as far as any other updates, well, we have a games app. I don't know if I did add it to the main page of my home screen. It does show some of the games that I've had. It does show some of the games here. Well, I gotta go to them. You can see that there are some games here. See if I can find some of the games that I have. It's not quite showing it for me. But essentially, it will show, oh, well, here's a game I might have downloaded a couple years ago. And it is showing it on the App Store. Car parking multiplayer. I might have downloaded that game about a couple years ago. And basically, this new games app is like a new app store just for games. Not just Apple Arcade games. You can find a lot of games. I found this game, and I'm pretty sure I'll find a lot of other games that I have offloaded on this device that I might have downloaded in the past. So it is pretty great that Apple added that. Next, we also have a preview app. Now, from what I understand, this is basically just an updated version of the Files app with more features to it. You can edit files and different things like that. And on the iPad, we get like this magnifier. I don't know why we don't get this on the iPhone, but I feel like it's somewhat a design language for liquid glass. But then again, we should get it on the iPhone. But maybe it's on the iPad as it's a larger display. So that's the preview app. So iPadOS 26 overall is a great update. I'm really amazed with this update and the new windowing system. I really love the new windowing system. And it is quite nice. But the only thing I will say though is this. When I go into a video, maybe I'll go to one of my videos from my other channel, which is Hawkins Tech Vlogs. I'll go into this video here. And so you see I clicked on the video, and the only thing is with the windowing system, if you stretch the window, YouTube is not fully optimized for it here. I can't even scroll up to see the rest of my content, and even that, whenever I would do that, stretch the window and then stretch it back, part of my text on the video is seeping through, and that even would sometimes seep through the YouTube homepage. And the way I'd fix that is I'll go into full screen where the bug is still happening, stretch the window out, and then stretch it out or resize it back in place. And that would usually fix it. So I call that the YouTube text bug, where you drag the window so far to the edge and then you drag it back and your text some sort of seeps through. That is a bug within YouTube, but I feel like YouTube will update that after iPadOS 26 releases. As far as anything else, well, those are pretty much my favorite features in iPadOS 26. It is a really great update. I'm Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys later. Peace.